Okay, right. Well, we're here at the 100 Club on Oxford Street, and unfortunately, because the band are basically outside rehearsing, we're going to have to sort of like put up with the noise a little bit. But this is the chance that we've got. Okay. I was talking to my brother early on in the week, and I mentioned to him that I was going to be interviewing you today, and he said to me, is that the Chantel who was recently playing with Joe Bonamassa? And I says, yeah, and he says, God, I was at that gig. You know, because that was quite recently, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it's a couple of years ago now, but yeah.
You know what I mean? So basically, he just said to me, God, that's awesome that you're going to be able to do that. I says, yeah, well, there you go. And so the first question that like occurs to me is, how did the Joe Bonamassa thing, how did the encounter take place?
It was quite strange really, because it was just before. I mean, he was just like on the verge of making it. So what happened was, my dad emailed him and said, you know, could Chantel have a jam at the sound check? You know, we've got pretty similar backgrounds with me and Joe. He started at the same age as me and stuff like that. So it were a case of Joe sort of got in touch and said, yeah, sure, we can have a jam at the sound check, and then he gave me a info from France. So we had a chat on the phone and everything, and we got to the gig and they were like, well, let's jam in the sound check, and there were no time in the sound check, so it's like, well, just set up and we'll get up on the gig, you can do the encore. And it was like, oh, okay then. So I did, and it was fantastic fun, and then I did a couple of nights later as well in Sheffield. And then the next year I did it again twice, and it went from there really. So it's great, and we still keep in touch, and it's fantastic.
My brother, who also is a guitar man, one of my three brothers, he said when I recently spoke to him that he thought Joe Bonamassa was one of the most exciting original guitarists to come out. You know, for a long time. Why would he? You know, can you see where he's coming from when he says that?
I mean, I think the thing is Joe's very, very human. He's come from a background where he's worked really hard to get where he is, and I think a lot of people sort of like appreciate that, and I think that's why he deserves to be where he is, because he's brilliant and he's so talented, but he's also a really nice guy. So you know, I think people really do value the fact that he's worked hard to get to his level, which is brilliant. So.
And who were your influences when you were growing up?
I've got millions. It's difficult because I've got lots of influences. Even now, I still listen to music and go, yeah, that's really good, I like that. And I mean, as a kid, I used to listen to Fleetwood Mac and Led Zeppelin and Free and stuff like that. I mean, Rumours were my favourite album as a child. And you know, Stevie Nicks is a massive influence on me, Hendrix. But I listen to modern stuff like Bruno Mars and Lady Gaga, and I love it.
Really? Did your parents introduce you to Fleetwood Mac?
Not to Lady Gaga, they didn't.
I was trying to be serious.
I don't do serious.
Likewise, exactly. Yeah, I was actually being told that I laugh a lot in my interviews and I shouldn't really, but there you go.
They're meant to be fun, you exactly. Need to laugh.
Is Rumours the favourite Fleetwood Mac album?
I'd say so, yeah.
Hendrix album, what's your favourite?
I've not really got a favourite. I just kind of dip in and out of different albums. I mean, the thing is, I think Rumours is my sort of ultimate. Jeff Buckley Grace is one of my ultimates. And other people, you know, I love the music, but I don't obsess on them. Whereas I think Fleetwood Mac, Jeff Buckley, John Mayer, I think I obsess a bit too much on them albums.
What about the female sort of divas, kind of like the Debbie Harrys and the Blondie and the Madonnas and the...
I love Madonna. I think she's fantastic. Oh, we've got a visitor.
We have got a visitor.
It's a visitor wanting a ladder.
Yes, exactly.
Madonna, I love Madonna. I love that she reinvents herself. Oh, don't worry, we're just interviewing.
We're just doing an interview.
Is that my merch table?
Yeah.
Ooh,
this is...
Thank you.
Now look right at the camera and just say, this is very impromptu.
This is live.
This is sound. This is live. We've got sounds in the background.
Absolutely.
And it's inevitable.
Yeah.
No, but we were talking about divas, Debbie
divas.
Harry and things like, you know.
I mean, I loved Blondie as a girl. And
I like that aggression she has.
Yeah, I just like that she likes kicking butt.
Yeah. No, that differs her from Madonna, I always thought. I thought there's something quite sort of feisty about Debbie Harry.
Yeah, I think there is quite a bit about Madonna. I mean, I love Madonna. I love that she reinvents herself. I love that I love that she's out there and outspoken and says what she thinks, and you know, she might be wrong sometimes probably, but you know, if she believes it, she says it, and I think that's a really, really cool thing to do. I think it's good to be strong like that, especially as a woman as well, because you know, there's still these, you know, misconceptions that women should, you know, stay quiet and shut up in the corner, and I think, you know, them times should be changing by now.
Well, do you know what? I think it must be knocking, we're 2012 now, aren't we? It must be knocking 30 years since she signed to Sire.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure of that. You know, since I think her first album was about 83, 84.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was. So, goodness me, but could you see Gaga around in 30 years?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah! I love Lady Gaga.
I'm sure I'm my age here, because I'm just like...
I think so. I honestly do. I think the thing is with Lady Gaga, I think because she's got such a fantastic team of marketing people that work with her. You know, she's got a whole house of Gaga that, you know, she's got so many people who work with her on marketing and you know, design and stuff like that she can evolve and recreate herself over and over and keep it interesting. I think she's a master at keeping it interesting. So I think she probably will be here in 30 years.
When you like started getting serious with your guitar, because you started playing at, how old was it, 3 or 4?
3.
3 years old.
Yeah.
And then...
I don't think I ever got serious, did I?
But like, you know, but when it was like, when it came to being at school,
yeah,
and you had a passion, you had something that was driving you, did that have an effect on your school life in a social sense, where when it came to the other girls, did they sort of, because when you're at school and when you're young, like, you know, it's like athletes and when you've got a passion,
everyone wants you to play netball.
Yeah, and then oh, another visitor. So, and it's a squeaky door just to make it worse.
I know.
Yeah.
This is our sound man.
Hey, how you doing?
He's doing a fantastic job.
Twist. Okay, right. Where was I? I was hiding behind the background.
That's our backdrop.
Okay.
No, it's not.
Right. Squeaky door, stop. That's it.
And it did.
Right, okay, right. No, like when you get like youngsters at school, when you get like footballers, athletes, etc. There's a fine line, isn't there, between going off that road where you get drunk and you go out with boys, and then, or you continue your passion and move up. But did that have an effect on you with your mates at school, or so-called mates, or whatever? You know, you were like, how did having a passion at school affect your school life?
I didn't really have a normal school life as such, because I was in pubs playing. So like from 12, I were in pubs every Sunday and Tuesday playing at jam sessions. So I was like going to a uni pub on a Tuesday night when I was 15, and I kind of lived my uni years from being 15, which is a bit strange, but all my friends were at uni. They were all studying at Bradford Uni, and you know, we'd go out and I wouldn't drink. And but that's how it was, you know, and I were old before my years, I suppose you could say. You know, I was going out sort of like, and you know, going to nightclubs at 15, but that was the environment I were in. I didn't have particularly many friends at school. They were mainly boys. I got on with boys a lot better than girls, and I still do. I don't have any friends that are girls particularly. And that's how it was, sort of from being that age. I've got on with lads, and I've always been one of the lads, and you know, I guess I did my growing up from being 15 to 18, and then when I got to 18 it wasn't much of a, you know, a novel thing going out and getting drunk on a Friday night. It was just like, well, you know, it's not really that exciting having a hangover all weekend. And I still don't think it is either. But
were you always, did you have that desire?
Yeah.
Always? Did
Oh,
you have
absolutely.
that, was there that light at the end of the tunnel for you always?
It's always just, I mean, music for me has always been fun. And I think that's the thing, is it always has to be fun, because if it's not fun, it's not worth doing. And you know, it's always been a drive of I want to be successful. I mean, in our house it was literally, because like my dad's an accountant, my mum's a teacher, it's always been work. You know, it's you're either earning or learning. That was their motto. So it was like, I did my GCSEs, did well, did my A levels, then did a BTEC, got 100%, then did my degree and got first. And it was like, you've constantly got to be full on pressure all the time with education, with whatever you do, because there's no point doing it if you're only going to do it half-heartedly. And that's how it's always been, sort of constantly eyes on the ball.
I got the impression from when you were doing your notes and things on your website that, not that you lost interest, but were you kind of like focusing more on getting a career rather than the music? Like, or was that the impression, or did I get...
Not really, no. I mean, for my degree and stuff like that, it were a case of... The thing with music is, you've got to work very, very hard, but you've also got to have some element of luck. You know, you've got to be seen by the right people, but you also make your luck. You know, if you push yourself far enough, then people start to see you. You know, people start to take notice and sit up and listen, but you've kind of... It is some ways fate, I suppose, and stuff like that.
Do you believe in that saying, the cream rises to the top?
Yeah, I do.
And do you reckon that natural talent will shine through anyhow?
I think it does in a way, yeah. I think...
You can create your own
I think in longevity, yeah. I think longevity-wise, if you've got a natural talent, then it will serve you for a long time, rather than sort of an overnight success that, you know, you may be gone here one day, gone the next, which, you know, it's all a thing of, it's all talent, it's all music, entertainment, business, it's all the same thing. And but I think natural talent, yeah, it's something that gives you a long career, I hope. I don't know if I've got any natural talent, but it'd be nice if I did.
Right, this is my favourite question that I like to ask all my artists. What does music do for you, Chantel?
Me? Tricky question. For me, music, it expresses me. It kind of makes me. It makes me Chantel. It's like I put music on if I'm exercising or if I'm dancing around my room, just, you know, getting ready to go out, I'll put some music on, you know, Lady Gaga generally. You know, and that sort of thing, it's whatever mood you're in, music kind of, I don't know, it accentuates that mood. You know, music can give you a mood. You know, if you want to kind of feel melancholic, you can put on some, you know, music that'll evoke them sort of emotions and it'll make you feel that way. But I think it can also, music takes you from, if you want to be in a party mood, then you can put on some party music and it makes you feel, yeah, I'm ready to go out now, I'm in a really cool mood. And I think that's what music does, and I think it expresses people, it's what people feel inside and how they get it out. I mean, it's like songwriting for me, you know, songwriting, it's like therapy. God.
Do you know what, actually, this was going to lead me on to my next question. Because I dabble in a little bit of that myself. My family are quite musically orientated, and I was going to ask you, actually, what is your structure when it comes to writing? You know, do you get the melody first? Do you get the words first? Do you build a song first and then fit the words and the melodies within the song? Do you build the song around the whole, like, you know, the whole structure where you've got all the words sorted out, or do you think the song? You know, how do you get started when it comes to?
It's a bit weird.
Because everyone, you know, but it is.
Everyone's
Songwriting is very weird, exactly.
For me, I don't have a structure. I don't have any method to my madness.
Do you let it just happen?
It just happens, yeah. It's whatever happens. It's, you know, if I've not, I mean, because I've been so busy, it's like you don't have time for, you know, personal life and stuff like that. So for me, writing songs is hard. You know, what can I write about other than gigging, touring, hotels, travelling, premiering, trying to find breakfast at God knows what in the morning?
Dreams?
Dunno. I tend to read books. I read a book and write a song.
A dream can be a catalyst for a song.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. I normally forget them though by the time I woke up. I'm blonde.
Got a bit of advice on that one. I've kept a diary, for the last 16 years of my life. Paragraph every day for 16 years. And what I do is I leave it by the side of my bed, and within the first 20 seconds of you waking up, you forget your dream. So basically you've got to
write it all down.
You've got to write that down, and then when you've written it down, it becomes vivid to you what actually happened. So, you know,
I might try that.
Poems, songs, like all that sort of stuff.
See, the first 20 seconds of me waking up is generally more of, oh God, what have I got to do today? No! I've got to do how much work today? I've got to drive 6 hours? No!
What has been your most satisfying song you've ever written? What's your favourite?
Oh, I like all my songs.
Yeah, but there
I
must
know
be
that sounds really bad, but I'm proud of it.
Is there? Well, so you should be. But is there one that you know which is special?
I don't know really. I like Fabulous because I put that on and dance around my room when I'm going out, as well as Lady Gaga. I drink cocktails to that song. Like No Other, I wrote at Pontins. I had a hangover and I was listening to another band and they were singing a really emotional song and I was like, oh, my head's killing me. Oh, lyrics. Wrote it on my iPad and it was like, got home, wrote some music, fitted them together, it was like a song in 10 minutes and that was like No Other, which is the title track of my album. So that kind of came out of nowhere, well, apart from a hangover. Too much Murphys.
Do you carry a dictaphone now with you?
No, just my iPad.
Really?
So,
and then you can get sort of like words on that?
You can get words on that and stuff.
Yeah.
Caught Out was very therapeutic. Somebody were being really horrible to me on a forum and they didn't know me particularly, they were just like slating me to benefit somebody else. So I put that into a song and it made the album. So that's, every time I sing that, it's a bit of a cheeky song and it's a bit of a dig at somebody, but it's great.
Really?
I suppose that's
were they not being very nice?
Oh, they were being horrible. Yeah, they were saying that I was, I was a fake Dixie blonde. And I was just like, you want to try living with me?
Really?
You'll find out it ain't fake. I'm constantly this daft.
Oh no, so I'm sure that with a bit of luck they actually found out that you you got the British Blues Award for the Young Artist of the Year.
Oh, I think they know.
Yes, I'm sure they do know. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they know that they had a song written about them too. But
and how did that make you feel when you got that?
Oh, the Blues Award.
Yeah.
Oh, I was so proud. It was one of them things because I didn't know I'd won and I didn't expect to win because there were so many other fantastic musicians nominated. So it was just like, you know.
Name some of the musicians.
Oh, there were like Ollie Brown that were nominated and stuff like that. And I thought, I'm never going to win against these people because they're great musicians and they're lovely people and they've got lots of fans and I'm not going to win. I'm just Chantel from Bradford, you know. And then when they announced it, and I was like, what? And I thought they were having a laugh, you know. I was just like, this is really happening. And then I had to go up and accept it, and all I could think to say is, oh, well, this is spangly, isn't it? And then I was like, well, what do I do now? Oh, I'd like to thank my mum and my dad, and yeah, thanks everyone, cheers. And I just came across as the most Dixie blonde in the world, but never mind.
Have you got a lot of self-belief?
Not really, no.
How come?
I don't know. The thing is, I'm always critical of everything that I do. I'm like super critical. I'm like, I come off stage after every gig and ask my mum and dad if they're there, how did I do? Every single gig, there's not one gig that I've never asked them because I'm that neurotic about, well, did I get this wrong? Did this sound bad? Was I singing okay? And I think that the time when you've got self-belief and you start thinking, well, I can do this, that's the time to give up because then you don't strive for better. You know, and for me it's a case of I always want to be better and I always think that every gig you do should be better than the last gig. And you should do something different and progress it somewhat further. And so self-belief for me is, I don't know.
Does the idea of, in the future, does the idea of writing for other artists appeal to you?
I like that, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean when I was writing Fabulous, I was, back to Lady Gaga.
This is a radio. This is a Lady Gaga plug, isn't it?
It is.
Oh, I was going to say Radio Gaga, but this is a Lady Gaga plug.
Oh, when I wrote Fabulous, I kind of had her in mind when I was writing that. So it was like, if I were writing a song for Lady Gaga, what would it be? How would it sound? And that's how Fabulous came about. And it ended up being, you know, if it went to her, then fantastic. But it's on my album now, so she can't.
Yeah.
But if she wants it, she can.
I hear some American influence in your work. You know, that's fair enough for me to say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Vocally, when I first heard you, you reminded me a bit of Alana Miles.
Yeah.
Like I can't sing the song because of copyright, but Black Velvet.
Yeah.
Just like I was going to sing for you then. But what about America, Chantel? You know, because if your music incorporates like American style, is there a chance that you can present it to the Americans?
I think yes.
Yeah, definitely.
In a word, yes.
Yeah, I doubt.
I mean, we've got.
And they love all the.
Yeah, we've
the
got a
picking and the
wonderful
guitar
fan base in America. We get so many emails and wonderful people on Facebook wanting me to head over there.
Yeah.
And one day I really, really hope I can go there, just so that all these people that keep nagging me on Facebook can like go, yeah, she came. And it is a fantastic country. I've been before. I've spent time songwriting and recording in LA, and I loved LA to pieces. And I'd love to go back, but for me it's a case of, at the moment I'm concentrating on the UK and Europe, because America is so big. And for me there's no point in saying, well, I'm going to go play 5 gigs in America in tiny weeny bars to, 50, 60 people. There's no point. It's a massive country, and to travel 6 hours from one gig to the next to play.
But then again, in the technical world we live in, you can get stuff out there, can't you?
Absolutely. I mean,
that's the gift that we have.
Yeah.
Not that I'm all in to the romantic side of touring.
Yeah.
Of course, I look at you too.
YouTube and stuff, though.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Out there.
Yeah. But obviously, like I said to you, I'm very into the romantic side of touring. Like you look at U2, for instance, they broke America first before they broke England and Europe. So they were touring in America for years before they kind of broke out there. I guess, but like I said, I think with like the Facebooks of the world and MySpaces and the YouTube, I have my doubts about YouTube now, but here I am. I've got my own channel on this, so therefore I guess it is hopefully eternal. It's always nice to get some stuff out there which is aimed towards an American market, and then you can. So therefore, you can be like the Beatles and be successful before you even set foot on turf. American turf.
It'd be nice, but I mean, I think the thing is you've always got to look at it as a thing of, I'm a teeny weeny minute speck of a fish in a massive big pond, and that's the way that I look at it. And it's the same with England. I'm a nobody. It's just I play my music, and I've got a wonderful fan base that are very, very loyal and very wonderful, and they support me and they help me and look after me, and it's fantastic.
And it's growing.
Yeah, it's wonderful when you go to a new place that you've never ever been. I mean, we went to St Helens last week.
I know. Yeah.
Did a date there, and I've never ever been there. I've never been anywhere near there particularly. Closest we've been really sort of like Manchester and stuff. And it was like all these new people that I've never met before came to the gig, and it was maybe like 80% new people, 20% regulars, and I'm like, oh my gosh, all these new people, and it was so fantastic that the regular wonderful crowd that we've got are now telling their friends and stuff, and they tell their friends, and it spreads, and it gradually spreads out, and YouTube, Facebook, MySpace, well, not MySpace as much anymore, but Twitter.
And for people looking at this, and if you can look at the lens, tell them your where they can find you.
Oh, it's chantelmcgregor.com. And there's Twitter, which is, I have no idea. I think it's at Chantel McGregor. And
I'll be putting a link underneath anyhow,
and
underneath
Facebook,
the video.
which is just me, Chantel McGregor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. One last question. What's the dream?
The dream? To be happy. I think
Musically,
I think to be happy. Playing whatever sort of music that I want to play. Not being pigeonholed, not being, she's blues, she's rock, she's folk, whatever. To be doing whatever sort of music I want to play, and whatever comes out of my fingers and my mouth, it just happens. That's it really. And for people to enjoy what I do. If I can play music that I love and people love listening to it, then that's my dream. Sad.
No, not at all.
What a soppy answer.
Yeah, well, let's agree.
Most people would say to play Wembley or to go to the moon. Mine's like, just to do what I do and hope it's good.
Well, let's agree to disagree on some of the answers you give me about how small you feel and how... Because I really do hope that it works out well for you, and by the sound of it,
Things
it's
are going
developing.
well.
Exactly.
It's growing organically, which is wonderful. I don't want to do an overnight thing. I want to genuinely make friends with my fan base.
Slow burning candle.
Yeah, and I think the thing is to have things that grow organically. The people that follow you and they're your friends and they grow with you, they're there forever because they're part of who you are and they're part of what you do, and it's brilliant. And I'd rather have the organic growth than just go woo, because you've got a long way to fall if you go up there quick.
Okay, well listen, next time you're in the area, if it's possible, this is Melodic Souls for this interview, and I'm doing another one which is called Let's Talk Guitars, so you can introduce me to some of the guitars you've got. Yep. So if you're interested maybe in doing that sometime, that would be lovely.
Cool.
Yeah? Okay, well listen, I wish you all the best. We've been talking about this for a long time, so thanks for getting back to me.
No, thank you.
And you've been a great guest, and I really do. And yeah, and good luck for tonight. And I'm looking forward to seeing you at the 100 Club on Oxford Street. And what's the date today? It's the 14th of June 2012. So all the best to you.
Brilliant. Thank you. Cheers.